So looking at what we're going to do, we'll start off with an introduction, and it looks a little bit like this. We're going to talk about mental health really, and some of the foundations or some of the things that we think might form that mental health. I'm hidden behind this bubble here. Tried to get this bubble smaller, but I can't do it. I'm getting there, bit by bit. Maybe that's a little bit better. First things first, just a reminder there of who's involved and the importance of this, and the fact that we really want this to be collaborative, and it also shows those that are watching it, those that are involved in it, how important this is, and how much it's taken seriously by the club and by the sponsors of the club. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'll just move forward really to have a think about what we're going to discuss. So the idea behind this is that we're going to try and generate an understanding of the common mental health issues and how they can affect young people, and the ability to spot signs of mental ill health in young people, probably more prevalent now than anything really, with the current lockdown and the inability to go and train and do what we normally do, maybe for a lot of us. Knowledge and confidence to advocate for mental health awareness, and skills to support positive well-being. As we talked about, we'll discuss that in its own section. And then dealing with peer pressure, as well as pressure that young people put on themselves. And again, this environment, I think, is very good at fostering that in some ways. You know, it is definitely a hierarchical environment. There's a lot fewer places at the top than there are down near the bottom, and to achieve that and to get to those places can be very challenging, and it can present a lot of problems and a lot of pressure along the way. So we'll look then maybe at positive ways to encourage young people to ensure that they achieve their potential. With that in mind, I've chosen to use, with Walid's sort of advice really and guidance around this as a coach, to look at using the England DNA or the FA4 corner model, which looks at, as you can see on the screen there, technical and tactical, psychological, physical, and then social. Whilst their drivers and their parameters around these particular topics might be a little bit different to what I would maybe be thinking from coming at it from a mental health point of view, there's no doubt that if we get the social element right, the physical and the psychological, we will ultimately achieve the technical and tactical. And there is not one without the other. They don't work without the other. Social's going to be the big issue, really. You know, from a very topical point of view, social is not currently a massive availability. We can't go out and meet and play and do the things that we as human beings really need. And we've probably stuck in our family unit, which is great for a weekend, but not necessarily for a month or more, as may be the case. We'll probably be missing out on the ability to get technical and tactical information. So you can see how, if these are all working in unison, we can create that perfect sweet spot, but with one or two of them missing, and in some instances, like potentially now, quite a few of them missing, it might not be achieved. Mental health is a combination of, it's many things, and it's individual to everybody that has it. We all have it. There is no mental ill health without mental health, like there's no physical health without poor health. We're on a continuum, but really it's defined by the way we think, the way that we feel, and the way that we behave, all the actions that we carry out as a result of our thoughts and our feelings. So we'll try and explore that a little bit more as we go through.